Welcome all, and thank you. I thought it would be easier to send out a short video rather than type up a very long email because I wanted to update you on the global curriculum project because we had some exciting meetings last week. And so for the first one, we're going to talk a little bit about the Sherwood Foundation meeting, which went very well. Met there with Matt, who is the facilitator for the Rural Fund, and he had us asked a number of great questions. I think is really behind our project and is really wanting to help it move through. One of the things that they're going to continue to do is some of their board is going to interview some of the teachers that have gone through the World Savvy program, and so that is getting taken care of last week and this week. He fully expected us to begin the application process, so once it's done vetting, he'll send us a link to start the application process for the funding. One of the things that he did think that $200,000 for the first 40 teachers were a little bit high. What he was thinking might be appropriate level would be $100,000 to help support 40 teachers to go through. That would be with matching grants from the Malika Foundation, so there's some work that's done there. So it was less than we expected, but the great news is they want to fund it for 3 years, each at $100,000 each year. So in essence, instead of $200,000, we'll be granted $300,000 plus matching funds that will need to be raised, but will educate a total of 120 teachers. He was also looking at the support and the intent that he was really interested in the World Savvy portion and not necessarily at the master's degree with UNK. There's some political reasons for that. He is excited that we're connecting and sharing those resources, but he wanted to move some of the World Savvy classes closer to the start of their program, which is fine. One of the things that we've always discussed with World Savvy is that they'd have to take 1 or 2 of our courses before completing all the World Savvy courses, so that sequence will be created. But it's great that we have some additional support, and actually the funding for scholarships for the students will total, if we get everything matching, will be $600,000, which is excellent. That was on Thursday. On Saturday, I traveled out to Dr. Natalie Hahn's house. Our dean was also there, and so it was great to meet a lot of the multicultural people and hear about the different activities that they have been working on. Some were new to me, which was wonderful, and our dean made a great impression. Interesting enough, also there was a teacher who was looking for a program exactly like what we are designing, so she has said that's great. She wants the Nebraska program, so we already have one of them being recruited. And so what we're sort of looking at by the time everything is in place, maybe recruiting next fall and then starting the program next January. And so we'll need to put some things in place, and then it will take a full 2 years before someone is able to complete that. But I have the Global Savvy curriculum, so we can start the process to create the paperwork for the course approvals, which we'll need some assistance in. We'll need to look at what courses do we want to combine with theirs and ours so they can take 4 credits during a semester. Chris and I talked a little bit, and currently we're thinking about multicultural counseling from my department and doing statistics and research and design from the teacher ed department to work along with some other courses with World Savvy. World Savvy's program, their certificate is their 12 credits. So they'll get a certificate from theirs at 12 credits. They are hoping that we will also grant a certificate level. So rather, we will need to go for the master's, but also we're going to need to start creating that paperwork for the 18 credit emphasis for our certificate from the University of Nebraska. Therefore, we need to think of some names for the certificate, which should indicate halfway or 18 credits, as well as for the master's degree in the program of emphasis at the 36 level. The cost we're still working on with World Savvy a little bit and negotiating some of that because there's some things that are fluid on their side of the organization. So the next steps, what we are looking at, we'll need to start the Sherwood grant once we get permission to move forward with that. We're going to need to start our eCampus grant, so we'll need assistance on that, as well as some of the course approval and applications for the courses for the certificate and master on our side. Chris and I thought next week is very busy, but we're hoping that you'll be able to make a 2 p.m. meeting on Wednesday. If you can't, we can understand. You cannot make it. If you have any questions, please forward them to me so we can discuss them as a group, and then we'll do a follow-up after we did, similar to what we're doing right now. But really, I want to thank everybody for the great effort. We're continuing to move forward. It's like a roller coaster ride. I didn't want to be disappointed when we didn't get our $200,000, but then have to be very happy that they're willing to donate $300,000 for scholarships to our students. And that's a great and wonderful outcome. Nebraska Wesleyan is still working on some type of project, but we're well ahead of them. And then also Sherwood Foundation talked to us about connecting some research, especially with the rural futures. And so rather than a teaching grant, we're exploring doing a full research grant with a local contact through the Community Partners Organization here, some connection with the high school, which would connect with our high school or middle school instructors and dealing with their research class. So some other side projects are continuing to go on as well. But you missed a wonderful event at Natalie's house. She had some great food, not only for breakfast, but also for lunch. She was very kind and gave away some of her prints and honored some Nebraska teachers. And it's a great thing that she has continued to work on this for many years because we're seeing some output. So this is the update. I'll send this out as an email, or the link is an email. So if you have any questions, just get back to me. And thank you very much.